What if you were truly aware? I mean, really aware. How would that affect you? What would it affect in your life? Think about that. If you truly were aware that you knew that you're not the body, you're not your ego, but that you're a form of consciousness that is eternal, that's infinite, that has no limitation, how would you make decisions in your day? What would those decisions be? Would they be limited? Think about your decisions now. How limited are your decisions with respect to health, with respect to abundance, with respect to relationships, with respect to connection, with respect to your job? Think about all the limiting ideas that you've got that are holding you back from dreaming your dreams and creating those dreams. What if you were truly aware of your truth? The biggest thing that I know is that I make different choices when I'm aware. And when I make different choices, I'm making choices not out of fear, but out of power. And when you make different choices, you set a whole different trajectory for your life experience. It's amazing how I look at my puppy. Nikki's what? I think she's about 11 and a half weeks old, something like that now. We've had her for about 3 weeks. And guess what? She's just domesticated and fitting into our routines. We're not forcing her to do anything. This week we changed. Instead of just meditating in the morning, we're back to doing Wim Hof breathing and then meditating in the morning. And the first day she whined a bunch. Second day she whined less. Today she didn't whine at all. She now knows what the routine is and she adapted to it. Now for a puppy and us, that's good. But how have you been domesticated into believing? Have you been domesticated into believing that you're not powerful, that you are limited? If that's the case, that's not what you want. Domestication are the habits of thinking that you've got. And I ask the question, if you're aware, would you have limited thinking or would you have expanded thinking? If you were aware, would you surround yourself with positive energy or negative energy? If you were aware, how would you respond to when someone's being negative? Would you even care? Would you even feel a need to respond? Because you are so aware, you know they're not going to hear what you're going to say, right? You get that. Do you really get that? That people are only going to hear what they want to hear. Most people are not open to hearing a broader perspective, a perspective that's different than what they currently have. So to give them that perspective over and over again, it's a waste of your time, really a waste of your time, because I always say this, when we argue with someone, the only person we're trying to convince is ourselves. Because if we truly knew something, we would never try to convince anyone. We would say it once, and then we would let it go. And that person, that other person, gets it or doesn't get it when they're ready. We have no responsibility for when another person gets it. Zero responsibility, because everyone is a unique expression of the infinite. But we've been domesticated into believing that's not so. I have to remind myself that all the time. I have 2 sons. I have 3 sons, really. One's 40. One may be 41. The other maybe is 38. No, one's 40, one's 39, one's 38. I got it. Took me a second. I can feel for them. I can give them ideas, but I can't care about their end result because it's always their choice. And I have no control of how aware they are when they're making the decisions for their life. I know when I was their age, I was not all that aware. My spiritual journey didn't start until 1997. You could say it was all a spiritual journey, but a conscious focus, 1997. Really took off in 2004 when I became a licensed practitioner and I started my master's degree in consciousness studies. I've dedicated my life to becoming more aware. It's my number one value in life. And it's a difficult one because the ego keeps dragging us back in. I don't care who you are. The ego has power over you. Because a person with no ego is not attached to anything. And I'm going to tell you right now, we all have some attachments, don't we? I do. I'm working on them. They're lesser now than they were, but I still have them. And this is what I've come to understand. Being aware, I realize I'm never going to get to the end. It's a journey. So the journey is about always becoming more aware and fully being present in the moment and enjoying the moment for the best that you can. That's the journey. It's a great one. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Oh, I am in the world and I am the world in my own mind, because when you think about it, the world is what I see. It's the level of awareness that I have. And the world for you is the level of awareness that you have based on the perspective from which you're coming from. We all live in the same world, but we all see it differently based on the level of awareness and where we're coming from. With that, beautiful ones, it's a great day. Hey, join me today in about an hour and 20 minutes for our healing session. We do this most Saturdays. We have 3 people we're going to heal. If you're not being a healer, you will be a healer. I'll instruct you. It's a great thing. Hour and a half. You can get the Zoom link at agapespiritualcenter.com. Go to the calendar and look for Healing Through Love. Zoom will be there. Love to have you join me. With that, it's your day. Be aware. Be aware of what you want and create it. Much love and aloha.